We are live. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the cast assessment for YouTube Survivor Season 4 Second Chances. This is the point where you guys clap.
Clap,
bad.
clap.
Alright, so first off, we are the first major org to do an all-returning season. So that's pretty exciting. We win that award. Sorry, Devin Survivor, you're not a major org.
Since when did you become major?
Since I hit a few thousand views. Anyways, so we are here with Jay, who's never played before. Say hi.
I'm still more legit than half the players, so hey.
Next up, we have Glenn, runner-up of Season 1, also on the last assessment segment.
Hi, guys. Hopefully, you guys can see me in the near future for an upcoming season, maybe.
No.
Next up,
fresh, Jay, fresh.
Next up, we have the winner of Season 2, Devin.
What up? What up? Number 1 ranked, number 1.
Go home.
And then on the far, far left corner over there, we have 6th place of Season 2, the worst placement out of anybody that's here, Blake.
Best person that's here, though. So
Me when that's true.
And the gayest person that's here, as you can tell by the shirt.
And the
Got him.
and the happiness.
So, first off, what do you guys think of the overall cast for the scene? Just like if you had to put this cast into one sentence, less than 10 words, what would you say?
Survivor Cambodia is all I have to say.
No.
All right, so Blake says no. Glenn says Survivor Cambodia. Devin, Jay.
I would definitely say that pending all the early boots, there's a lot of potential for some of these guys.
I agree.
That's more than 10 words.
You said one sentence. I didn't hear the 10 words.
Well, I said it.
All right, well, I chose not to listen.
And Blake tacked on 2 words to his already 1 word. So, I agree. All right, Jay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. I got 9 words. I think it looks good, but will end bad, probably.
That was a 13. You fail. All right.
Whatever.
Glenn and Blake win the award. So let's start, shall we? Alphabetical order. Adam D. And this is the Adam Season 2. And got 13th place. So I guess we'll start with Jay. What do you think?
Wait. Go the other way because I don't. I gotta pull them up.
All right, fine. We'll start with Blake. Then. We'll go back.
I'm starting?
Yeah, you're going to start. What do you think of Adam?
Oh, Adam. I know the way Adam plays. I was never going to try with Adam. I guess you could say. But I know he was one of Mr. Slither's victims over there. But yeah, Adam is very, very vocal. He's not afraid to make moves. What we look for in a second chance player. So hopefully he goes far and we can see something as well.
All right, Devin.
Yeah, listen, you mess with the snake, you're going to get bit and feel the venom, you know what I mean? So Adam definitely was a victim, and the reason he left was because he is such a big threat in games. So I could definitely see him trying to go out and make a lot of big moves this season. My only con for him would be that he's a very aggressive player, so I want to see him work on a social game more than a strategy.
All right. Glenn.
Me?
Yeah.
No name Glenn.
Okay. I feel like Adam is gonna get like a downgrade this season. He's gonna get the Vetus Takeo edit, where he's gonna Adam's gonna piss off his whole tribe, and they're not gonna appreciate that. So because of Adam's mouth, he's gonna get first boot. I'm sorry, honey. I love you, Adam. You're the best person I ever got to play games with, but man, you sometimes don't watch what you say. You're gonna piss off your tribe if you're not careful. You might get Vetus from Cambodia, so be careful. That's all my advice.
All right, and then Jay.
Well, from what I hear and read, if Adam can keep his mouth shut, I think he could make it to the merge. But the problem is if he starts being really aggressive once the merge hits, I could see him ending up like Cass, where he comes in as a big threat and then is able to slide by, but once he starts talking too much is when people might decide to get rid of him.
All right. Now, my opinion on Adam. Here's the thing with Adam. I think he has the ability to be a really strong and competitive player, but the only problem with him is that I think he tends to try and make some moves too early. And I think that's exactly what he did in season 2, where he does this blindside on Jake, but then what's next? He might not always be thinking the next step ahead, but he is able to pull off some really good moves. So if he can try and intermingle those two things together, I think he has a really good shot at making it really far, if not winning this game. So next up, we're going to talk about the other Adam, Adam P, or Adam Loves Everything. So we'll start with Blake.
Can you hear me okay?
Sadly.
Okay. Trying to sound mean or anything. The first thing that comes to mind is just messy. Last season, I don't even know. I just think that I predict him being an early boot this season. If he plays the same as he did last season, I think he'll go pretty early.
All right, Devin.
I don't really know this Adam all too well, but just based on what I've read and having him, aligned with almost everyone as soon as that merge hit, I would say that there's definitely a technique to it. I mean, if you look at my game, I was aligned with literally every single person as soon as the merge hit, and I had no problem with it. But when you get caught like he did in that season, from what I can tell, as soon as you get caught, you're going to be the one voted out because people will expose you very quickly in order to advance themselves. So much like Adam, I'd like to see him take a step back, find a solid group to work with and run with that this season, because obviously his strategy of working with everyone didn't quite work out for him.
All right, Glenn.
Okay, so now that I've been deliberating what everyone's opinions on Adam so far, I can say my opinion is that from what it looks like everyone else is saying, Adam might get the Jeff Varner Cambodia edit where Adam's gonna wind up getting swap fucked and having his alliance be clear, like crystal clear, and he's just gonna wind up getting taken out early. So, Adam, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't like you last season, and I really, no offense, have no hope for you this season. So, you're gonna get really bad edit again. So.
All right, Jay.
Well, I think if he, going off of what Devin says, if he can find a good core to work with, I think he could be in this for the long haul. It's just if he tries to work with everyone again in an all-star season, that shit gets smelled out real quick. They smell bullshit quite faster than a normal season. So if he can stick to like one group and then maybe a few people off to the side, he's good. But don't be trying to work with every single person.
All right, so here's the thing about Adam, and this is what I think was honestly the brilliant thing about him, especially last season. He definitely had a very Devin-esque personality and way that he played the game. The only difference was there was no Jabbar. Jabbar didn't exist in season 2, where there was a Jabbar in this season. there are people that aren't afraid to call you out. Jabbar only needed 4 people to take out Adam at the final 11, and I think that's really incredible on Jabbar's part. Showed how strong of a game he played. But Adam, every single person aside the 4 people that voted him out wanted to take him to the end. And before it was mentioned to Zach and James, they were thinking about taking him a long way, if not like final 5 or 6. So I think that if people are just maybe not on their A game, or if people, I don't know, don't pay as much attention to Adam as they probably should, like what almost happened in season 3, then I think Adam would be able to skate by and could potentially snake his way all the way to the end of the game. But if people start catching him, like they did last season, and they catch him early enough especially, he's not going to have those strong enough ties to be able to make moves, garner votes, and take other people bigger threats out of the game. So I think Adam honestly has a brilliant shot at this. He's just got to – I do agree with you guys saying that he has to tone it down a bit.
Well, another thing is you have to remember most of these people might have seen how each other plays. So if he tries to do the same thing, they're going to catch on to that quicker because they know that's how he tried to play the first time. If someone else who didn't do that the first time they played tried to do that, then that might not be as obvious as if he tried to do it for a second time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Which is why I can't play. Which is why I can't play All Stars.
All right.
The fact nobody likes you.
All right. If you want the snake, you can get bit too.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying what I see in the Skype chat. I have no issues with you, but.
All right.
Not a lie.
Next up, we have AJ, J Flora 18. Go ahead, Blake.
AJ, as a person, he's feisty and all that. However, in the game of Survivor, being feisty doesn't always work. So, and not wanting to tone down his feistiness and, you know, the ability to just call people out on their shit right away. But I really do think that if he wants to make it farther than he did his first time around, he needs to tone that down. Otherwise, he could probably end up with a worse placement than before.
Devin?
Once again, I don't really know AJ all too well based on the video, you know, open personality and whatnot. Doesn't seem like, based on his previous season, that he made all too big of an impact on the game. But he's going to be one of those guys that, like I said earlier, early boots, you don't really have enough of a sample size to judge their game in this type of environment. So he could go out and surprise me, but his expectations are very low from me at least. So hopefully he can prove me wrong. If he makes the merge, I'll be surprised.
All right, Glenn?
AJ this season is different than AJ from last season. AJ from his original season is definitely Monica Padilla Samoa, but AJ's second chance right now is looking like Monica Padilla Cambodia. Now, he's most likely going to be like probably on a tribe that's good for a while, and then as soon as the day his team loses, he is the first one cut because he's not going to talk, he's going to be very quiet, and he's going to fail. I mean, no offense to him, but like, either you go big or you go home. You know, honey? You go big or you go home. So, AJ, I'm sorry, sweetie, but you didn't show personality for this season's video. Maybe last season was fine, but not this season, honey bear. Sorry.
All right, Jay?
I think it can go one of two ways with someone like AJ. Like, going off what Glenn said, if he doesn't show a lot of personality, yes, people might get rid of him just because they might not have any attachment. But at the same time, why get rid of someone like that if there are bigger threats to get rid of? The problem with him is going to be is he going to be able to make good social connections, smart social connections, as opposed to just making the wrong connection and getting fucked over in the end?
All right. So here's my thing about AJ. I think it was a complete misconception of AJ from last season, from the fans to what actually happened. AJ really did not play as loud and maybe exuberant, that I guess that's the correct word, as his personality would want you to believe. He wasn't going in blazing guns and everything, and the only reason why he was voted out was because he did try and out the all-female alliance between Glow, Patricia, and Ruthie. And he was trying to stir that up a little bit, but he wasn't going all in. I think he would have been fine had he tried to not do that. But then again, he was also in the minority to begin with on the tribe swap, and he kind of got swap fucked. But AJ, well, yes, he could potentially open his mouth too loud. I think that if he treats the game like he did last season with just a little bit, maybe just a little bit control in his mouth, I think he's going to be able to make it a good way. Maybe not win, but I think he'll be able to make it a good way.
Well, for a lot of the people here, that's going to be most of the game for them, is to just know when to keep the mouth shut. Because we have a lot of loud personalities on this cast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, quite a few of them.
There's this cast, and the interesting thing about it, you have, it's like half loudmouths and half quiet ass fucking mice.
Snakes.
That's your cast. There's like nobody in the middle. You're either super, super quiet or you're super, super loud and exuberant. All right. Anyways, the next person up is Austin, Season 2, 9th place. Go for it, Blake.
I think Austin, last time he played, he wasn't the most player, but sometimes that's the best type of strategy to have in a game. In my opinion, he's a very under-the-radar player, and you just have because you can go far. So I really do think that Austin will go decently far this season. He plays the under-the-radar type strategy again.
All right, Devin.
Yeah, just like Blake said, he's very under the radar. You know, he was another one of my victims, I guess you could say. But so on the good side for Austin, he was all about the team when I was aligned with him. So if you're looking for an ally, someone that you can trust, he's always putting the team before himself. He goes, what's the vote? What does our team want? What's the best way for us to move forward as a collective group? The downside is the guy doesn't play to win. He plays to get his group to the end. And I took him as far as I could, but then one side wanted him out. I needed to keep both sides happy, and I convinced his side, essentially me, Katie, Rodrigo, so on and so forth. I said, you know, we might have to sacrifice him in order to keep the numbers. So we had to do that, but he never once crossed us over. He never once was dishonest. He just wasn't too involved with the game and didn't have any of that killer instinct. So I would say that this time around, he needs to start playing for himself. You know, if he wants to go team up with that same group of people from season 2, so be it. They never crossed him the wrong way, but he's got to do something new. He's got to shake it up because he is a good player, but he needs to know how to utilize his strategy a little bit more.
All right, Glenn.
Okay, Austin. Oh my gosh, I love Austin. He's like my best friend. He's a sweetheart. He's awesome. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't get much credit as credit is due sometimes when he plays these things. He's usually underrated a lot. And people are just like, scoff when he tries to play a good game. Because usually he would follow the main good winner at it type person. Whereas there are times where he can surprise you because I can see Austin getting the Kelly Wentworth edit this season from Cambodia. Austin's going to fucking find an idol. And when people least fucking expect it, Austin's going to play it all the votes for Austin are gonna nullify, and he's gonna stay over someone who is probably very stronger than him. I can see that one day. Hopefully, he finds a way to have a different personality than the one he was shown in season 2. I hope he gets a better edit this time. Austin, please make it happen. Give yourself a huge personality like you've never done before. I've seen it before. Show them what you got. That's all I've got to say. Good luck, Austin.
All right, Jay.
Well, the good thing for Austin is I feel like based off his video that he knows what he did wrong the first time. The bad thing I didn't like about him was the fact that he goes that I'm just going to keep winning immunities. You need to do something more than win immunities to win the game. Because at that point, even if you make it to the final 3, what else do you have under your belt? If he can make moves and make it pretty far in the game, I think he's good. I don't really think people will be looking at him as too much of a threat, early on anyways, but if his whole game is to win immunities, then I don't have very much hope for him to win.
All right, so here's the thing with Austin. Like Devin said, he's very team oriented. He loves working for the team, with the team, by the team. That's his whole strategy, pretty much. And despite what many people say, physical game does matter in this game. And Austin's very good at competitions, especially like physical or endurance competitions. Um, he's definitely someone that's going to be kept around for helping the tribe with the competitions. So I don't see him going anywhere pre-merge, unless maybe like last merge boot or pre-merge boot. But the way I see Austin coming into this game, I feel like he is going to try and play a little bit louder because he was a bit quieter last time, kind of like what Blake said. He wasn't as involved with the game as, I don't know, someone like a Devin, who is talking about this game 24/7. He couldn't do anything else. That's how he won. But I think Austin has a good shot of getting far. Winning, he's going to have to up it a good bit to win. But I think if he does the same thing again, it's going to get him to a good position in this game. And he's a very good social competitor. He's going to be the guy that's going to be talking to people. And, he'll even reach out to the minority, talk to them, not be their target, so he can assure himself that he's not the vote. And that's all you really need out of a player, to be honest with you. So I guess we'll head on over to the next contestant, which is Caleb, Season 1, 16th place, our first Season 1 contestant out of very few selections. So, Blake, hey, just in time. You come back on camera to talk about Caleb.
Caleb?
Caleb the boss.
I didn't really get to see much of Caleb, so I don't have a really strong opinion on him. I did, however, say earlier today that I do see him potentially being a first boot. But if he can come in and just tone it down a little bit, since the last time he played, he could probably go decently far.
All right, Devin?
Yeah, just like Blake, I don't really know much about him in 10 gauge. I see him constantly on the site, so hopefully he knows some people prior to the game that he can work with. And I just thought it was really funny that on his sentence or two before his video, it said that he was inactive and he was camping. And it just made me think back to Season 2 when we had Justin do the same exact thing. So I'd like to see them both work together at some point. I think that would be a great connection, and I think that would be really funny. The inactive campers or something like that. But unfortunately, I don't see both of them going very far.
All right, Glenn?
I'm just going to say this now. Caleb is going to get the Shireen Cambodia edit. He's going to wind up saying some shit that's very offensive to the point where even you may want to disqualify him. And his tribe is just going to purposely throw the challenge and vote him out because he hurt another camper's feelings. And that person's going to feel bullied by Caleb. So Caleb's going to wind up getting voted out unanimously because he offended another person. That's what I see Caleb happening.
All right. Jay.
My thing with Caleb is I feel like he has a chance to go pretty far. And the reason why I say that is because in his video, he seemed really irked that he was voted out third, which makes me feel like that he might have a little bit more of a fire underneath him than he might have had his original season. I feel like if he's a bit more active and a bit more like maybe plays his social game a bit better, he might have a chance. And yeah, that's about it. I could see him being like making moves. I'm not sure if I can see him going deep, but I think he could make moves.
Caleb DeBoss. Oh, I don't know what to say, except as long as this time, as he doesn't complain about getting put on a tribe with fat, drunk hillbillies, aka Julian and Tim, and he doesn't blame the entire country of England for his problems and tells the entire country of England to go to hell, his words, not mine, I think he'll be fine. However, if he says that the country of Portugal should go to hell, I don't see him getting anywhere. And if he starts insulting other castmates, I also don't see him going anywhere. And that's why the first tribal that he actually went to, he was sent home. If he can tone it down a bit, if he can tone it down, period, he should be able to do fine, and I think he'll be able to skate by. He just needs to tone it down. So now we'll go to Blake with Connor.
Connor's actually one that I'm really, really, really rooting for because he didn't really get a chance to shine season 1 because of Mr. Slithers once again. Connor didn't do anything wrong. He just got voted out. So I want to see him actually get the chance to play instead of getting cut short. I do think that he has a really good shot at making it far because Connor is really good at the social aspect of the game. And yeah, I could definitely see him going pretty deep.
All right, Devin.
Yeah, look, Connor was my first victim of that game, and I have no regrets about it. I had to take out someone that was a big threat at that point, and when I went over to that tribe, I thought that taking him out would put me in a better position when I was going back to my own tribe, just because I didn't really have a connection with him. But I told him I was willing to vote with him. All he had to do was give me a name, and he didn't reply to me. Rennie didn't reply to me, and there was someone else in his alliance that didn't reply to me either. Who was it?
Justin.
Oh, Justin. Yeah, none of them replied to me whatsoever. So I was like, all right, then I'm just going to go create my own alliance in a tribe that I'm in for 24 hours. So, he's definitely a big threat coming into the game. If people want to say, oh, he's the first boot, let's just keep him, he's not the big of a threat, that's going to be their fault. If you want to make a big move and start your resume off early, you'll take him out. But, hey, he'll be fun to watch if he makes a dent in the season.
All right, Glenn.
Okay. So, I can see Connor getting the Woo Cambodia edit where Connor is going to wind up finally making like a swap. And then when he makes his own better alliance, he's sadly still in a minority alliance, and they wind up seeing how much of a threat he is with that minority alliance out of the other two people, or three, whatever. As long as he's in minority, he's going to wind up getting cut before merge, like Wu did, because why not? Connor's a threat, and if he goes to merge, people are going to be screwed. That's all I've got to say.
All right.
I love you,
Jay.
Connor, by the way.
All right, Jay.
Well, the interesting thing about Connor is, like, we saw him get voted out more because of a twist more than anything he did wrong. Or, I mean, I guess he did something wrong to get votes, but we don't really know how that would have ended if someone had stolen his vote. But the one thing about this game is, this is going to be weird coming from me, but I feel like he kind of needs to tone it back a bit early on. He can be super extra sometimes, but I love him to death, and I can see the reason why I think he should tone it back a bit is because I'm not sure if the people who want to play a more quiet game are going to love that part as much as people like me who like the entertainment aspect of it.
All right. So the thing with Connor, and there were a couple of reasons why he was targeted. First, over someone like Rennie or Justin, and yeah. Anyways, sorry about that. One was because he had just recently gotten second place on T-Viver, and you know that that's a good thing. That's a really good accomplishment that he did, and that led into people's thoughts about him. And another reason why is because he did, with the entertainment aspect thing, and he was making an entire joke out of this. He got the best score in his tribe, and he got like 10th place out of 18 in that competition or whatever. He did like horribly, and everyone else on his tribe did worse than him. And he was like, "Come on, team, why did we do this? Why did we lose?" That got into people's minds. People started thinking, and he was just saying it as a joke. He didn't really care that he was going to tribal first. He thought that it was going to be a fucking easy shit, but it wasn't, and he got voted out. To be fair, it was due to the controller twist, and Devin came over and fucked everyone's game over because he's Devin, and that's what he does. But, Connor has the ability to be a great social player and to thrive off of the social game. He's got, and I believe I've told him this before, he has a lot on the social aspect. Like, he's one of the best social players probably in this cast, and probably one of the best ones that I know of. But his strategic game is not there at all. Some of the moves that he wants to make are just insanely stupid. If he can team up with someone who has more of a strategic mind than him and have his social game, if those two could combine, and if he could find like a duo that does that, then they could make it to the end. I could definitely see a final two of a strategic mastermind and a social mastermind.
He needs a Tony for his woo.
Yes, exactly. He needs a Tony for his woo. Unless that Tony is 10 times better than him, then he needs a Cass for his woo. So, it just depends. So next up, we have Hunter. Are you there, Blake? Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Hunter.
Ooh, my enemy of season 2. Oh my god. Okay. I actually am really happy to see Hunter back because he is actually a good player. That's why I wanted him out so badly. I think he has a lot of potential. He's really good with that social game. Blindsided me 1 vote, so he has a lot of... He's really good at the game. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, Devin.
Yeah, listen, I'm just going to preach on what Blake said. Strong social game, pretty good competitor throughout. And did I already say good social game, good strategy, and he was very physical too in a lot of these competitions. So at the end of the day, you can either say, do I want to use him to my advantage or do I want to take him out early? If you remember back to season 2, the guy didn't even try for most of the game, but the one time he popped online, he masterminded a blindside against the best Connor to ever play the game, and laughing out loud, what an unforgotten god. And and it left Blake blindsided. But hey, Blake and I worked together to get him out. So you're gonna need numbers to get this guy out because he's probably gonna be hunting for idols, or he's probably gonna be trying to work everybody.
Hey, the superior Connor was invited back for second chances and did decline.
Wow, poor laughing out loud.
Laughing out loud.
About to be crying out loud.
I'm crying right now.
All right, Glenn, Hunter.
Okay. The thing with Hunter is he's giving me the Cambodia vibe of Terry Dietz. He's gonna wind up probably not doing much, and then I can see that Hunter's gonna wind up because of not doing much. He's gonna wind up getting medevaced. Hunter is gonna wind up getting medevaced. So I'm sorry, dude. You
Alex's
a lot of work
face.
to do because I don't know. I never watched your season really. So I don't know how you really play, but I feel like you might be Terry Dietz anyways because even without the Cambodia edit, because there's a chance even if Hunter does make merge, people might be against him, so Hunter may want to win every immunity that exists until like Final Four-ish.
Jay.
That's all I've got to say about him.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to hear what you guys had to say because when I watched his video, I was thinking pure GOAT. So it's nice to hear what you guys had to say. My only thing I'm worried with him is in the video he said that he wants to prove that a good player cannot be discovered, and that's good, unless the jury doesn't discover that either. So if he can do that but still be credited for the move as opposed to someone else taking credits for any moves he makes, I think he can win. I think from what you guys said, I think he can go far. But I mean, if his whole thing is gonna be I don't want to be discovered, then yeah, you might not be discovered, but you might not get the credit for any moves that you were a part of either.
So Hunter, the only thing about Hunter is that he, I don't know, he this is hard. Like, I hit Blake from the broadcast, so this is
hard. You host this. I'm going off of pure videos.
my bad. All right, so Hunter, he just seems like he really didn't care in season 2. That was like his only problem, and honestly, all he needs to do is put more effort into the game. If he puts more effort into the game this season, I think he could be a mastermind. I think he could be another, maybe not another Devin, but like a Julian or I don't think anyone's going to ever reach the Devin level. But he could be another Julian or
You hear that, Blake? You hear that, Blake? That there's never going to be anyone to the Devin level. Just wanted to make sure you heard it. Just want to make sure you heard Alex. Just want to make sure you heard him.
Let me just say why Devin's game in season 2 is one of the absolute best games that I've ever seen of anyone in any reality TV show, whether it was online, actual show.
You mean until I play All Stars?
Yeah, this is until Jay plays.
Yeah. Good job, Steve. That's why you're hid from the broadcast.
You know he's preaching. Blake.
Anyway, but Hunter just needs to care more about the game. As long as he does that, I think he'll be fine. All right, so now let's show Blake back in the broadcast. All right. And we'll go on to the next. Ooh, this is a fun one. All right, Jack. Go ahead. Go ahead, Blake.
Jack is messy. I guess he called out his final two in rows and threw her under the bus or something season 1. I don't know much about his game, but I mean, if that's your strategy, you do you, boo, and I'll do me. But I'm lost for words. I think he's gonna go pretty early.
All right, Devin.
I mean, is it just me, or does this guy look like a younger version of Blake? Like, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
What?
I had to put it out there. I just noticed it.
I second
He
that.
has absolutely no eyebrows.
All gingers look alike.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really know this guy. I've seen him in a couple of games here and there. Not really a game changer by any means. Probably a really early boot that will never come back again, hopefully. But, you know, who knows with this guy? I don't know. Let's pass it on. Keep the train moving.
So, Glenn, you played in the season with Jack.
Yeah, give him a Cambodia edit.
Yeah, give us your Cambodia.
He's either gonna get the PG Cambodia edit, or the Abby Maria Philippines edit, where Jack's gonna wind up going batshit crazy on someone for no damn reason towards the merge, and then they're all gonna just all jump on him at once.
Oh. All right, Jay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I didn't see his season, so I don't really know much about his gameplay. The thing I did like in his video, though, was he was able to point out the flaws in his previous game, so at least he's self-aware of some of the things he did wrong.
Abby Maria Cambodia.
I don't think Abby was quite aware of what she did. I mean, the biggest thing I would say he has to get over is, I know this is going to sound bad, but honestly, the age there's just such a difference to some people that it might be hard for him to connect as well. And that's just my view on it. But
how old is he?
He's 13.
He's 14 now. He said it in the video. Because, you know, there's a lot of maturity going on between 13 and 14.
All right. The biggest thing that Jack is going to have to do in this game, and I'm being dead serious when I say this, he's going to have to learn people's names. Don't go up to Caleb and say, "Hey, Veronica, let's vote out Caleb." That's going to be his biggest deal breaker.
Why not? If someone makes it to the end after doing that, I'm giving them my vote.
My win.
So let me sum up Jack's game from season 1. My bad. Comes into the game, doesn't really do much. Doesn't really help out the tribe too much. Maybe a little bit. Does a decent scoring challenge. Attacks Rose randomly on call for no reason. Rose Moulet, this is. And then proceeds to get her voted out. And then walks up to Anastasia and says, "Hey, Anastasia, let's vote for Chris." Not knowing that Anastasia and Chris were the same person.
You see, when that was in the description, I thought Chris was like someone else. I didn't realize Anastasia was
sort of reminds me of Luke.
Oh my God, Luca! Oh.
So
why wasn't he asked back?
Luca he was the number one person I asked back, and he declined. But gosh, I want Luca on this season. But man, Jack. As long as he learns people's names and their nicknames and actually interacts, and being serious from now, he's just got to interact with people more. He should have. That was a basic thing that he should have known, and he didn't know it. This time, I think he has the self-awareness to know not to go up to Caleb and say, "Hey, Veronica, let's vote out Caleb," or go up to fucking Keaton and say, "Hey, Gamma, let's vote out Keaton." I don't know, just somebody that popped.
Hey, in his defense, in Matt Survivor, I kept messaging Jackson stuff I was trying to talk to you about because you have Jackson in your name, so I kept getting your names mixed up. So I can't fault him too bad for that.
Okay, but Alex Jackson and Jackson Turner are similar. Anastasia and Chris, when there's no other Chris on the tribe, that's not.
Well, maybe he just thought like Anastasia sounds like a female name. I don't know. He was 13, okay?
Should have known.
Alex,
He was-
he's 14 now. He's changed.
Yeah, he was immature back.
Don't you realize the things they teach you between 8th grade and 9th grade? All right?
Hashtag the Titanic Alliance.
That's another thing. Him and Rose were tightly aligned before his blowout on.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah, so Jack and Rose were an actual alliance. Named the Titanic Alliance. Well, let's move on. Jack, I think Jack could have a shot. He just has to tone it down. Major.
Jack,
I forgot to mention. He also went to Julian and did not ask, hey, Julian, do you have an idol? He said, hey, Julian, you've got the idol. Tell me that you've got the idol. Please tell me that you've got the idol. Please, God, tell me that you've got the idol. Those were like his exact words. He also has to not pressure people into telling them that he has the idol, even though he was correct. Jack was correct that Chris would win the season and that Julian had an idol. He has the ability. He just needs to tone it down. Now we'll move on to Jake, Blazer 44, Season 2, once again, 14th place. Blake.
BRB puckering up for my husband. I fucking love Jake. He's my favorite. Jake has a really good ability he has really good social abilities, so I think that will carry him a long way in the game. He has no problem making friends, no problem talking to people, and that's a good thing to have in the game of Survivor, especially when you're vulnerable. Every tribal council. So I think that Jake is definitely going to go far. I mean, if we look back on his past season, he got taken out by 2 idols. It took 2 idols to take him out. So if those idols were never used, he would have still been in the game. Who knows how well he would have done. So I really do think that he will do pretty well this season, and I'm rooting for him.
All right, Devin.
Yeah, I mean, Jake's honestly an accidental victim of mine. What happened was I trusted Billy, Rocketo Kid, at that point in the game, and I decided to use an idol on Billy, but in the terms of I was going to hand it to him rather than play it for him at Tribal. And I didn't assume that there was a twist in the game in which Rennie got the ability to get an idol or something crazy like that. Some BS thing that Alex does because there wasn't there was less than 25 idols in the game at one point in time, so you needed a 25th. But anyways, so Jake was gone, and that was the one vote that I wasn't in control for in that game. And I felt so bad afterwards. Everyone was so mad at me. I thought my game was down in the dumps. But yeah, he's an extremely loyal guy, and I loved working in an alliance. It was me, him, Rodrigo, Katie, and Jake at that point in time. And it was honestly and Austin, such a clean alliance. And I think he's a lot like Austin, but Jake has an improved social game rather than Austin. I think both of them are strong players, but I'm definitely pulling for Jake this season. Don't get me wrong.
Glenn.
Okay. I can see Jake getting the Stephen Fishbag Cambodia edit where he's going to wind up, for some weird reason, on the merge. But then when he starts to finally get control of an alliance, the opposite alliance finds a way to counter attack his alliance, and he winds up leaving in the aftermath.
He can be idled out twice.
Go, Jay.
Oh, yeah, it is my turn. I love Alex. I think he'll do well in this game. I've played with him a few times, and
You just call him Alex.
oh fuck! Look at me. I don't know why I even said Alex. Jake. Oh, that's why. I think Jake's gonna do well in this game, but he says he needs to work on making stronger friendships. I don't think that's really the thing he has against him. I think he's already really good at making friendships. If I was him, I would just focus on kind of. I mean, the thing is we don't really know what he did wrong with his game the first time because it took 2 idols to get him out. How can you really say there was something wrong with that? I mean, but that's all I got to say about that.
All right, so Jake Abbott, 44, Blazer 44. So, anyway, sorry about that. If there is anyone that is better at the social game than Connor, it is Jake. Jake is definitely, like, aside Connor, one of the most incredible social game players I have seen. He is just so nice, so loyal, everything. Jake will stick to an alliance as long as they stick loyal to you. He's not going to turn his back on you. He knows how to make it far in this game, and that's why Adam decided to idle him out. Adam perceived him as a threat. It was the only vote that Devin was actually in the minority on. And I mean, it was just an incredible move. Also, Jake got 25 minutes at that spinning competition thing. That's incredible. I was writing down random numbers for him. Like, I had to add on like 5 more sets of numbers of 9. He got through like 47 numbers or something crazy like that before he dropped. And I think he just like kind of just gave out at that point. But Jake's going to be a huge threat to win this game. And honestly, he's a really good winner's pick choice because everybody likes Jake. He's not going to get targeted. If he does get targeted, it's only going to be because of him being so nice and everything. So Jake's got a great shot in this game.
Well, before we move on, one thing he said in the video that kind of has me hesitant on him is the fact that he seems really focused on just improving his placement. I get that everyone wants to do that. You know, nobody wants to do worse than they did their first time. But, I mean, I would rather go for a win and then get voted out sooner than I did my first time than just improve my placement. But, I mean, considering how much of a bitch I am, if that's all I got to complain about on your video, then I think you did pretty good.
Yeah, you do complain. All right. Next up, we have Jenna Valentina. Go for it, Blake.
Hello.
Hey, go for it.
Jenna Valentina. I don't really know what to. I haven't really seen Jenna play much of a game because every time I've seen Jenna play, he gets voted out too. So I do want to see him go far because I want to see his gameplay actually develop into something and see how far he can go. But he needs to work on his social abilities more. Because I feel like sometimes he overtalks to people and it just starts to annoy people. But I am rooting for Jenna Valentina. I hope you go far.
All right, Devin.
Yeah, there was one point in time in which he was actually back when I was on 10 gauge and everything like that, and Frukies and fastings and stuff like that, people would accuse Jenna of being my multi over and over again, and he would get targeted. Yeah, just because of that, like over and over again. And so I'm not saying you can compare Jenna to me by any means because I don't think Jenna's going to do very well in this season. But, you know, a lot of these pre-merge folks, I don't know how far they're going to get just because I don't really know their sample size because, you know, you have someone like Connor, for example, who was the first boot but holds some of the most potential in the season. And then you get someone like Jenna who didn't make it very far, but on the other hand, you don't really know what to expect. So Jenna's going to be one of those wild cards that I'm really pulling for this season. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Can't wait to see that Cambodia edit that Glenn thinks that he's going to get.
All right, Glenn, what's the edit?
Jenna's gonna get the Sierra Easton edit from Cambodia.
Ooh.
He's gonna wind up aligning with Austin, and he's gonna wind up aligning with Caleb, and the three of them are gonna be the Witches Coven line.
That means we need to hear Jenna at every tribal council saying "make big moves."
Yes.
She's not allowed to say anything else.
I have high hopes for Jenna this time. I think Jenna's gonna wind up becoming a person that wants to make moves this time, and you know he winds up getting 10th in the final 10, and he does better. He gets jury. He gets Sierra Easton's place in from Cambodia, so yeah, he's gonna have a good alliance that sticks well. So yeah, scoops for Jenna.
Oh my God.
So do I gotta contact Jenna's mom now?
Jenna, he voted off his dad.
Oh, okay, I gotta contact his dad. Okay, yeah. I'll contact one of his parents to play. Go for it, Jay.
Oh yeah. I like Jenna as a person, but I mean, like, once again, I'm going off of videos and like me knowing people personally. I actually don't have very high hopes for Jenna right now based off the video. Well, he said he wants to improve his placement, which, I mean, you know, anyone who's second boot wants to, so I'll give him that. I won't complain about it with him. But he also said something like, "Oh, I'm going to do a little bit different." Like, no offense, Jenna, you were second boot. You need to do a lot different than if you were second boot. I do think he has the potential to go very far if he can make it to the merge, because I don't see anyone really gunning for him. And I mean, once again, since he was voted out so early, people might not look at him early on in this game as a big threat either. So I feel like he's either going to do really good or he's either going to flop really hard. I don't think there's an in-between. Yeah.
Alright, so the biggest thing that Jenna needs to do this season, once again being completely dead serious, he needs to learn to not lie about his competition score. I'm sorry, but when you tell your tribe that you scored 800,000 in a competition, and then I reveal the scores and you got like 115,000, that's... It wouldn't have mattered anyways, to be fair. But it just put random distrust where it didn't need to be. That's the whole reason he went out over Bobby. Like, Bobby would have gone home with that vote. And yes, I know Jenna's watching right now and complaining about PMs. I mean, come on. You knew I was going to rail on you about if I railed on you. Jenna does have the ability to, I really do think he has the ability to make it far in this game. I've just never seen him make it far in these games, and I really don't know why. He's never taken out as a threat. He's normally taken out as a number. And I guess he just needs to be seen as not a number and maybe more of as a threat. Maybe.
I think he needs to focus on making big social bonds instead of being a number. Because once you have the numbers, it's easy to flip on someone you don't have a good social bond with. So I feel like he needs to work on that.
Jenna, you're wrong. You got this.
And I mean, I know you guys are like joking and everything about him needing to make big moves. I really think he needs to make a big move this season. I think he needs to be the one that's going to take the reins, take charge, and make a big move. If somebody is going to try and take this game over, Jenna needs to be the one to stop it, because that'll look great on his track record. And I feel like it would fulfill some sort of destiny that Jenna needs to get. He's taken out so early in all of these games that I've seen him in. I've seen him in a lot of games. Never seen him make merge or jury in anything. And it's a shame, because he's a decent player. He's not super bad at the game.
I don't know if Jenna's capable of taking charge of a vote, but I really do want to see that this season, and I hope he does that.
I feel like it would just fulfill something if he was the one that did it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he even needs to be the one to take charge of it. I just think he needs to not be seen as a number and needs someone who sees him as like a friend or like a personal connection.
Right, but the other side doesn't need to see him as a number either, and being a right-hand man is being seen as a number. I think he needs to be seen as a leader. If he's not seen as a leader, I could see him going early.
I just don't know if he's capable of being the leader.
Maybe not. We'll find out. Next up is definitely Blake and Devin's favorite, Justin.
Oh my gosh. Is it me first?
Obviously.
Okay. Justin. Active the whole season of season 2, and then came back at Final 7 and tried to take out yours truly, and I don't understand why. But
because you're a little snake, that's what it was.
I'm not a snake. I'm the biggest hero you've ever met. Justin needs to actually play the game this time. This is a second chance for a reason, and I hope that he does take advantage of it, and he does actually play the game, makes some moves, and I could see him going far again. But if he's inactive like he was last time, he'll be out real early this season.
All right, Devin, how's your favorite buddy?
All right, so I'll say a couple things. One, him and Caleb are going to start an alliance, and their name is going to be called the Happy Campers, and they're just going to go inactive together, and they're going to pop on once in a while in the season. Number two, the good thing about Justin is that before he went inactive, he was an okay player. Nothing really wrong with his game, just fell in the minority a few too many times. Obviously needs to work on that. And the bad side of Justin is a couple of things. One, he's extremely gullible. When I came over to that tribe for the first time, I stabbed him in the back in that vote against Connor because he was completely left in the dark. But then he came right back around when I volunteered a second time, forgave me, wanted to work with me. So even if you screw Justin, then there's slack to still work with him. Imagine, like, I'm going to be honest. But I'm going to be honest, I had a lot of sheep in season 2, but there was no bigger sheep than Justin. He was more than Rodrigo, more than Katie, more than anyone else. I just had to Snapchat him the name of who we were voting, and he would do it with no question asked. Like, even if it was someone he trusted, all I had to do was Snapchat him the name of who we were doing. And then that was it. And then it was literally like me having an extra vote every single round at that point, which was extremely powerful at the final 9, final 8, up until he decided to come back and play his own game. And then I was like, all right, I guess you don't want to play my game anymore. So then we had to vote him out. So,
Alex, this season is obviously Devin's sheep versus
that's
Devin's.
all it is. That's all it is.
Versus Devin's victims is what it is.
You should have just
it's all about Devin.
You should have just put me right back in.
Put me back.
This is second chances for people Devin screwed over.
Before Glenn gives his Cambodia edit, I want to give a quick comment on something Devin mentioned. The thing with Justin, obviously he needs to be more active, but what was that I was gonna say?
What a flop.
Fuck you. There's something that Devin mentioned earlier in his speech.
Devin, are you sure all these were your victims? Don't take credit for everything.
Name one person that wasn't a victim of mine. Just one.
Jake. That's it.
It was really just Jake.
That's the only one. Anyways, go Glenn. Give your edit. I'll try and think.
You know who else was a victim of? You know who else was a victim of mine? It was what's his name again? Oh yeah, that guy with the orange hair. Oh yeah, Blake.
I know who wasn't a victim.
It wasn't Jake because he's still on the island.
He's invisible.
All right, Glenn, what's your edit?
My edit for Justin this season is going to be Tasha Fox. He's gonna wind up being goaded to the final 3, and then he's just gonna get no votes because he sucks. I'm sorry.
Okay, in Tasha's defense, she had a great pre-merge game.
Yeah, well,
I don't think
I had a great pre-merge game too, but that shit didn't do me any good.
Well, I didn't watch this season, so irrelevant.
No.
Nobody did. Don't be offended.
But yeah, like I said before, yeah, he's gonna wind up getting a stupid Tasha Fox edit from Cambodia, where he's gonna wind up going for the final 3, and then he loses because, yeah, he lost.
Our door. Make sure you.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes, obviously.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know very much about his gameplay, but I mean, he seemed very cocky in his video, and I mean, if you are inactive for 90% of the time, do you really have a right to be? I don't know. He just seemed like a really big douchebag in his video. I just really didn't like it.
I love Justin.
I mean, I've talked to him before and liked him on Skype, but I mean, in his video, which is all I really have to go off of when it comes to his gameplay, if that's how he acts like on Skype, I don't see people wanting to work with him or wanting to go long term with him. But yeah, that's really all I have to say.
As long as Justin doesn't go inactive for a month and then come back and decide to target the second biggest target in the game, I think Justin will do fine. I mean, honestly, had Justin just shut up and have been inactive the entire season, he would have made the final 2.
He really would have.
And
I would have taken him.
And if he wasn't up against Devin, he would have won. If he was up against Katie, if he was up against Rodrigo, it wouldn't have mattered. He would have won that shit.
How come you're bringing someone back who is 90% inactive, but you can't bring someone who is 100% inactive? That's rude.
Well,
the fans demand it.
Is he a filler? Like, were you just desperate for someone? I'm confused.
Justin played a better game in season 2 than some people. Let's just say that.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to go back and watch season 2 then.
I mean, season 2 was also called Devin.
That's what it was. It was Devin's
I will
Island.
only watch it if I'm
It was
ever
Devin's
playing
Island.
against
Devin survived. Devin survived.
You hear that, Blake? It has a ring to it, doesn't it?
YouTube Survivor season.
I would buy it on Amazon.
I would too.
But
I'd buy an extra copy and send that to Blake, all gift wrapped and everything.
Bitch, at least I'm
Season
on the DVD
where-
cover too, bitch.
Yeah, you're in the background kissing my feet.
No.
no. It's all 17 of the other cast guests kissing your ass. Is what it is.
And then there's me on the side just chilling.
First of all, house guests are not on Survivor. And second of all, I did not kiss Devin's ass.
Blake is triggered.
Oh boy.
I am dead.
Exactly.
I did not.
What are we talking about? Oh, yeah,
that shit is not tasty.
Who's next?
Let's see.
Okay, Katie? Yeah.
No, we're talking about Justin still. Okay.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm listening to the videos as we talk.
I thought we finished up on Justin. I gotta go after the next one. I want to talk about Katie before I have to go.
All right, fair enough. Fine. Justin just needs to be active. All right. Next up is Katie. Go, Devin. Or go.
Oh, no, Blake can go.
What?
Like game this time. Unfortunately, that was a little clouded by somebody in season 2. And I hope that she actually goes in and she can make big moves on her own and play for herself this time. That's what I want to see. I want to see Katie take charge. I want to see Katie be a big social player because I know she is. I want to see Katie be master the strategic aspect too because I know she's capable of it and I know she can do it.
You want her to be Devin?
Not possible.
I want her to play her own game. That's what I want.
All right. Devin.
Yeah, I'll say this about Katie. She is probably the most loyal person in this cast, along with, just based off of experience, I would say Jake would be a close second, but both of them never did anything to screw me over. So once again, if you're looking for an ally, that's someone you can trust, you're going to trust Katie. She messaged me as soon as, like, this was season 2, as soon as the cast reveal was announced, she messaged me on Skype and she said, I hosted her a while back and she was playing with it, Emmett 4, for whoever knows Emmett. Mm-hmm. And she said all she did was her and Emmett, they just, I think she said that she sheeped Emmett and trusted him 100%, and that's why they went back to back on my season. But then she said to me, literally word for word, she said, Emmett to my Katie. So I said, don't worry, I've got you. We've got this final 2. But this is an important, like, most people are underrating today. This is the day where I started making most of my deals. Like, I was messaging a lot of people tonight, and I was saying, listen, we got this. If we're on the same tribe, what tribe do you think you're going to be on? What do you think? Just getting to know not necessarily talking game, but getting to know everyone and solidifying yourself with a strong social game. Today's a very, very important day for a lot of people. I would say Katie has another good chance. I've personally seen the tribe setups, so I think Katie has a good chance based on the setup. But you never know in this game. People might go against season 2 just because, the best season out there. But
hell of a lot of them there.
But yeah, I would.
Season 2 did set the bar.
Yeah, season 2 really was elite. But I'm rooting for Katie just like I'm rooting for all of the people in season 2. And the only other mention I'll make, I like Michael in this season. I like Ruthie. I think Ruthie will team up with Katie later on. And for anyone watching, if you're playing with Romeo, I might be Devin Slithers, but that man is Ratmeo. But that's all I got to say. Just watch out for the bigger threats in this game. Don't be afraid to create your resume too early. Constantly be moving. That's all I got. I got to get out of here.
All right.
Bye.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Slithers.
Hissing going off call. All right, Glenn. What's your Cambodia edit for Katie?
Katie, okay. My Cambodia edit for her is she's going to get the Spencer edit.
Spencer, okay. Why do you think that?
She's gonna wind up being very brainy this time, so she may not sheep. Instead, she may find ways to lead a pack. I can see her definitely getting robbed and getting second place again if she makes it that far. And she might, and also necessarily she's also Glenn 2.0, whereas
Oh, so she's Facebook.
we were both underrated finalists. Our gameplays were good pre-jury, but not good jury-wise. We had bad jury management. And I think it's going to wind up coming... I think she's going to wind up having the same issue, having poor jury management again. Whereas she may want to make moves, but I think it's going to wind up happening like with me, where the moves I make is the moves someone better than me already had in mind, which is the issue me and Katie had. Me and Katie both had good ideas, but other players had those ideas, like, I guess, since the start of the game, and we thought we could just plan out our game play by play, when in reality, if you want to win and you want to have good jury management, you need to think from the very start and beginning of the game. You cannot do play by play. It will not work.
Well, I mean, I think there's a difference.
I love you. You're my winner pick. You're one of my draft picks for the season. I hope you can really amaze me this time, more than you amazed me in season 2 of Survivor. My opinion, you should have won over Devin. Sorry.
Not at all.
Hmm.
Go, Jay. Go, Jay.
Well, I mean, with her video, once again, I'm only going off of the videos, and it was 19 seconds. But half of her video, she was talking about how she wasn't given credit for the moves that she made. And, I mean, I guess I see where that would ache her, but at this point, I think she just needs to let it go and focus on things she needs to do for this season. And once again, I was only seeing a little bit of her, but she still seemed really ached about what happened in the last time she played. If she was as good as she says, and if she deserved credit for all the moves that she made, I don't see why she would complain about it, since she could do the same thing and not be seen as a big of a threat as someone like Devin would be if they came back.
All right, so the thing about Katie, is the sheep going to learn from the shepherd? I think that's what we're going to learn here. Is Katie going to be able to see how Devin did what Devin did, learn from what Devin did, and then Devin the shit out of the season? Another thing about Katie, she's very good at competitions. I mean, season 2 is competition beast this season. I mean, Devin's good at competitions. Katie's good at competitions. Jake's good at competitions. Austin's good at competitions. All these people are great. Blake's pretty good at competitions himself. All these people, I believe, won at least 2 immunities. Maybe not Austin, but he came like second or third in a lot of them. All these people are competition beasts from season 2. And Katie's one of them. I think she won the most with 3. I think her and Devin tied for the most or something. But that's just the thing with Katie. She's a threat, and people aren't going to view her as a threat. And that's going to have an impact on this game.
Well, they might not have viewed her as a threat before you said she was a threat.
Well, if you take the cast assessment that we do here into much account, because these people can be completely different from what we're saying they could be. We could say someone's the best social god on the planet and then turn out to be the biggest idiot on the planet ever and have the worst social game ever. So you don't know. Don't take this cast assessment out to target people. As somebody says, they're taking notes.
They have their Word document open. Katie, 19-second video. Physical threat.
20. 20.
My bad, 20. That second there was just so awe-inspiring that I lost count of the seconds.
All right, we're heading next up to Keaton. Go, Blake.
Keaton needs to work on his social game.
What social game?
Exactly. He didn't have a social game the first time. He needs to work on his outbursts because he says what's ever on his mind, and that's what's going to get him in trouble again. And out of the two first boots, I think that N is most likely to get first booted again.
All right, Lynn, what's the Cambodia edit?
For Keaton, he's probably gonna get the Andrew Savage edit, where he's gonna be the big bad wolf who tries to push people around, only to leave immediately when merge happens because people are just gonna not take his bullying anymore. He's gonna be like, bye bye.
You think he's making merch?
I feel like he might wind up making merge. I feel like this time might be his season. At the same time, not his season to win, but like his season to finally get away from Preacher.
Right, Jay.
I don't really know. I don't think he's going to do very well, and that's just based off his video, just because he was saying things like being on tracks with whiny little fucks. I mean, that's half the people that I know. I mean, you're gonna get all the votes. I mean, but he just, I don't know. Something about him, I just don't feel like he'll do very well. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know his game at all. He could turn out to surprise me. If so, good for him. Cool beans. But based off his video, I don't think he really learned from the last time.
Keaton is going to blow his shit with all of these season 3 people around him. I really don't think he likes many of them. And like he did not leave on off of a good note with people from season 3. Of course, if he hasn't talked to them, which some of them he hasn't, I don't think he really has an opinion on. But some of them just he has this loud and abrasive personality, and I do see him having somewhat like what Glenn said, an Andrew Savage type of edit. Except I just don't think he's going to make merge. I really don't know if he can survive a tribal. I think he definitely has the ability to make it far. The problem is him actually taking that into account and using that ability that he has. And I just really don't know if he's capable. I think if he sits down, pay attention, and knows what he's doing, then he'll be able to do something. If not, I guess. Francesca Hoji, anybody?
That's exactly what I was thinking when Glenn said that he was going to get the Andrew Savage. Based off his video, I was thinking more Francesca.
That could be another one. Next up, we have Matt, which is Matt64. Go ahead, Blake. Good work, Blake. Always a valued member of production. All right.
So much insight. Truly awe-inspiring.
So many words. All right, Glenn. What's your Cambodia edit from Matt?
Matt is definitely gonna get the Jeremy Collins edit. I think Matt's gonna win.
Whoa.
Do not insult Matt like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an insult if you're given the edit to where the person won the season.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean,
it's Jeremy.
Matt can't say his wife is pregnant.
Well, who's
He
to say Matt's
could.
not my? Who's to say Matt's not my hubby and I'm not pregnant with Matt's
He could
child?
say his girlfriend's pregnant. He
No,
just can't say
no,
his wife.
no. Look, teen pregnancy's gone up in the past few years, and you can get married once you're 16, and that's.
I don't know. I don't think about how much of a hoe bag 16-year-olds are these days. You keep thinking about that.
See, I think people are gonna. I think Matt's just gonna wind up, winning. I still can't put my finger on how. I just have this feeling he's gonna get the Jeremy Collins edit of Cambodia, and just win.
Well, I mean, I do think Matt will make moves, and I love Matt. He's one of my closest friends on Tengage and in general. But the only thing with him is a lot of people, or at least the people I'm friends with, know his game. So is he going to switch up his game for this season and do something different? Or is he going to try and play the same game that most people know and then be able to predict what he's going to do?
Here's the thing with Matt.
Can I do my assessment on that?
Yeah, Blake, I'll let you speak on Matt.
Do you want to do yours first?
You go ahead.
Okay. I think Matt is he's a very good player. Which leads him to be a threat, in my opinion. He tried to make a move. He tried to make a move season 1, and it didn't work out for him. But if he does make a huge move this time, it does end up working out. I think he could go very, very deep in the game.
And
So
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. That's my.
Okay. And the thing about it was, kind of like with Jack, he was trying to make the correct move. He perceived Chris as a threat, and he was. Nobody was thinking about Chris until Matt mentioned Chris, and then once Matt was gone, nobody mentions Chris again until the Final Four when it's too late for Julian and Glenn and Jerry to vote him out. So Matt has a very good strategic. We're going to be talking about some of the great strategists. I know we've been talking about some of the great social players. Matt, I think, is going to be one of those players with a great strategic game. My bad. He's always going to be planning a couple moves ahead. And while he isn't the greatest at the social game from the games that I've played with him, he's definitely really good at the strategic game. And if he could just get a good majority, he can get that, he's going to be fine. Maybe he's going to go in and connect with these Season 2 people or Season 3 people. I don't know yet if this game is going to be split between you guys are Season 1, you guys are Season 2, you guys are Season 3. That's how it's going to be. But, I think Matt has a decent shot at this.
Well, who was it earlier that we said they needed a Tony for their woo? If he works with them, I think that too would be a very strong duo.
Connor?
Yeah.
So we're saying like Matt and Connor?
If they could find a way to work together for an extended amount, I think those two would be for their games. I think it would be smart, but I mean, that's just my opinion.
All right, next up, Michael. Go Blake.
Having played with Michael, I know that he is a very, very good player, and I 100% think that he's going to go far this season. He just got to work on his friendships with people, relationships with people, make sure they're strong at all points, because I think that's what he started lacking back in Season 2. And that's ultimately why he was voted out. But I think that if he can correct that mistake, he is golden for the season. He could easily win.
Very good. What's today? Okay.
My Cambodia edit. Okay. So with Michael, it's very tough because I can either see him get the Chaos Cast edit where Michael might just out of nowhere snap and start making moves that are very questionable to the jury, to the point where people don't want Michael to win now. So like basically him trying in the merge is going to be useless. Or B, he might get the Kimmy Kappenberg Cambodia edit where he's just going to be too nice, too innocent, to the point where he's going to be a victim of a tie, rocks, or idled out, and almost making it to the end.
All right, Jay.
Michael is someone I've played with a lot on Tengags. I really like him as a fan and as a person. He does have a habit of going really far in those games. I'm not sure how good he does in Ords in general, but my only thing is I've never seen him make a Final 3, and I feel like it's because he's good at the social aspect, but when it comes time to when people have to turn on their own allies, he's normally someone that is very easily turned against because he has so many connections with people. I just think that he needs to maybe work on his strategic or physical game, and then if he can be better at one of those and remain how good he is at the social aspect, then we're looking at someone that I could very well see win this season.
All right, so my thing with Michael, I kind of disagree with you, Jay. I think that he's very strong strategically. Has well, I'm not gonna say none, but hardly any physical or social game. I mean, yes, he's gonna be talking to people and everything, but I don't know. I just don't see it as maybe severe as you. If you kind of get what I mean. Michael is definitely a strong player, and he's a threat in this game. People, I really don't think are gonna estimate him correctly. But yeah. Sorry, I'm getting really tired here. All right. Next up, we got Patricia. Go, Blake.
Patricia, she made a lot of mistakes, in my opinion. I don't know, I just feel like she needs to build better relationships this season than she did last season. Because her gameplay started to get a little bit messy, and if she can just fix that, then I think she could go far, but for all I know, she could get out really early this season as well.
Okay. Lynn.
Okay, with Patricia.
Which
Okay.
Cambodia character?
Cambodia character.
Just do any character.
I'm trying to think. Please don't mess up my mind. Great, thank you.
Well, sorry. My deepest condolences.
I say that Patricia's gonna wind up getting, most likely, she's probably gonna be like Keith from the Cambodia edit. She's probably gonna be like, make it to like top 5, and then she's gonna just wind up leaving. She's just gonna be like, "Oh, you're 5th place, bye," because
Jay.
Well, the one thing that Patricia does have going for her that some of these people might not is a lot of people see her as like a very big goat, and I think that will really work for her benefit in this season early on. I'm not sure if once the merge hits, if it will really be a good thing for her. I think if it's weird because if she wants a chance to win, she's going to have to change that image of her being a goat. But at the same time, I feel like that's one of the reasons why people would keep her long term. So she's gonna have to like try to balance it out to where she doesn't look like she's becoming a Kelly Wentworth too early on. While I think she has the potential to go pretty far in the game. I think she has some good instincts. I just think she needs to make stronger connections to be able to make the moves she needs to make.
Oh, Patricia. She honestly played an underrated game in season 3, but compared to the jurors, even though I do agree with James winning, I think that was the best thing that could happen at that final 2. But Patricia has the ability to go off, and if she's able to adjust to that and be able to use it, then she's gonna be able to go far. And that's pretty much all I have to say about her. We have 2 more people left, and I guess we'll keep our winner picks a secret so it doesn't seem as biased. But then
By the way, Glenn, the only 2 people left you have for Cambodia is Malcolm. Well, why did I say Malcolm? Joe and Kelly Wigglesworth.
Thank you.
Just thought I'd help you out.
I thought Keith Nail.
Didn't we just give Keith Nail to Patricia?
Oh,
Yeah,
we did?
Yeah.
I did. I gave her that.
Okay, sorry, I'm tired.
My bad. We did. Glenn did.
Alright, next up we got Romeo. Go Blake.
Romeo. I've heard from Devin. I've heard that he's. I've never really. I mean, I've never really gotten the chance to play with Romeo, so I don't know how he plays. But I've heard that he can be quite a force to be reckoned with, and if people don't look out for him, I could see him go far.
Alright. Glenn.
Okay, so Romeo is getting the Joe Anglum edit from Cambodia. Romeo is going to basically try and get people to love him. He's going to try and be very lovable, likable for the whole season. Only that when they find out that he's starting to not do so well in physical challenges towards the merge, then Romeo is going to wind up getting the guillotine. He's going to become from fan favorite to who, what, where, and why. Who's Romeo? What's Romeo? Oh, Romeo doesn't exist. So yeah, he's going to get the Joe Anglum edit. Thank you.
Alright, Jay.
I don't know. I really don't know very much about Romeo. I don't think I've ever played with him.
He's a pest.
He's a what?
A pest.
Oh. I don't know very much about him. I can see him going based off the video and the description under said video. I just don't really see him winning for some reason. I could see him like going late merge, but I don't really see him winning.
I mean, Romeo's got one thing about him, and I think he has a sort of charm to him that I don't think many of these other people have. I think he's got like a Jake Connor type of charm. It might be in a different area, but I definitely think that the charm is there. So if he's just going to be able to utilize that, then I think he's going to definitely have a good shot of not only carrying himself, but he's going to be able to carry others to the end with him. Alright, and then we're going to try and hurry this last one up because I'm not good. So, final contestant is Ruthie. Go ahead, Blake.
Ruthie nails the prospect of the game. I think that, quite honestly, I feel like she was taken out last season because of her being so social and her threat. So I mean, I think if she's just as well she was last time, I think she has a good chance at making it super far, being in it for the long haul.
All right, Glenn.
Ruthie is going to get the last but not least Kelly Wigglesworth at it. She's going to try to the point where she's just gonna float until the murder them. By the time she tries to get a huge majority alliance, it comes crumbling down, and they all wind up blindsiding her or backstabbing her because they realize that, oh, this person was capable of winning once. Who's to say they're not capable of winning again? She's just going to perceive it as like, don't want to risk it, merge, jury, social threat type thing. And Ruthie's got the same placing she got on season 3. She's probably gonna get 10th again. Sorry, Ruthie. I want to see you go further, but knowing this cast, I sadly can't see you getting past the Kelly Wigglesworth placing. I'm sorry, girl. Hopefully you can try. Good luck, Ruthie.
Hey, Jay.
I kind of agree with everything Glenn said. I do think if she goes on like a small, I think if she goes on an immunity spree, I do think she has a very good chance at winning because she's one of those people that I think has a good combination of being a physical threat and still able to maintain decent social relations. The problem is it's in an all stars cast. I'm not sure when people are not all stars but second chances. People are a lot more tuned in to wanting to get the big threats out early. So I want her to do good, but I could actually see her going pre-merge because people wanting to make big moves and such.
I really do think that Ruthie's going to slow her under the radar for a lot of people. Now she's not going to be the threat. Now she starts what she did last season, coming close to or starts running away. Then she'll be stopped. Until then, I really don't think they can be stopped. So, yeah, that was the cast of YouTube 5 and Season 4. That took a hell of a lot longer than it should have.
How long were we on here for?
At least an hour and a half. I'm so tired. I'm just pray that
Well, maybe if someone didn't take, 3 hours doing the cast reveal, we wouldn't have had to.
That's such an issue. Yes. Just, this season's going to be great, and no matter how tired I am.
You sound so stoned.
No matter how tired I am,
Are we doing winner picks?
Nah, because I don't want to. We can do them like off call, but
Sounds good.
I'm cleaning someone's decision.
That's fair.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Bye, guys. Love you all. Hopefully, you guys.
Bye. Oh, here,
see
I'll
you guys
clap.
again soon.
Yeah.
Clap, clap, clap.